Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day and that you are getting notifications as we speak here. We're going to do Q&A Thursday. And let me just see here if I can say hello to you guys today. I got my wife's device here. Okay, should be able to. Okay, haven't seen it yet, but okay. How are you guys? As you come on, hello, hello, hello. Let me see if I can see you and can say hello. Not yet. I'm not. Here we are. Let's see. Yeah, my picture's up there. I'm just waiting to see if I can say hello. Love you guys very much. Welcome to another program. Going to do a Q&A. I'm not sure if I can say hello to you here because I can't pick up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to be able to say hello. There we are. Lee's, you're number one on my hit parade this morning. Cheryl, West Virginia. Wendy from Markham. Brahim, how are you, my buddy? Beverly, Milika, Gertie, and Frida. And Brahim says, I'm looking centered today. Yeah. Brahim, don't ask me what happens because I don't know. Wendy, Linda, how are you? Rose, Peterborough, and Lori from Alberta. Rita, and Yvonne, how are you? Williams Lake, British Columbia. Roxanne, Alberta. Francis from Vaughan. Chaz, let's party until it's, I don't know what you're saying there, Chard. 2099. Heather from Miramichi. Gail, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Nativity, good morning. Lise, Janice, Tina, Carol, and Tina's from Nova Scotia. Carol, Newfoundland. Thanks for coming on. Yvonne from Petawawa, and Janice. Kevin, are you just coming up now, Kev, or did I miss you? Sandy, Sherry, Diane, Thunder Bay, Lise, how are you this morning? Hey guys, there's David from Jensen Beach, Florida. And Brahim saying old man disease. Yeah, you better believe it. Shirley, Natalie. I'm going to say hello to Doc McEwen because she's usually on, but I don't see her. And Fran, a lot of times I miss her too. And Madalena. And from St. Catharines, Carol. There's Fran. I see you, Fran. Patricia, Florida. Kevin was in the clouds. Cheryl. Let's party till the cows come home. Hey, there you go. Rosalinda. Did I miss you, Rosalinda? Brahim is saying Kevin was number one. Guys, we love you dearly. Judy, New Brunswick. Joanne. Port Salerno. How are you, Joanne? Donna from Newfoundland. Brenda. Marcia. Formerly Mexico, now in Goodyear, Arizona. Diane. We love you. Hey, guys, if you think of it today, say a prayer for one of our dear members of our Martin Clinic private Facebook family, Olga, okay, who's in a hospice now. And Olga, we love you. I'm probably not listening, but we love you and we're praying for you. And the whole family reaches out to you. Okay, so we care about you big time. And so let's get to the questions. We're going to do Q&A Thursday. Why is that? Because tomorrow I'm traveling. Okay, so no program tomorrow. Dr. Martin, this is from Marissa. Can you please discuss the effects of xylitol with probiotics? Okay. Is there an increased risk of cardiovascular events like heart attack and stroke with the consumption of xylitol? Okay, so you know what xylitol is. It's sugar alcohol added to a lot of things, in terms of sugar that doesn't, it doesn't elevate your insulin per se. Guys, I'm always careful with any of these sugar alcohols, okay? Like, I'm not saying you could never have it, but I think it's erythritol that is probably the one that doesn't elevate insulin whatsoever. Now, the only negative thing that I've read about, and like I've seen research on xylitol and its ability to elevate uric acid. So I'd be careful with it. Okay. As far as cardiovascular, maybe that's, you elevate your uric acid, your risk of inflammation and down the road cardiovascular could be an issue. I think it's an outside chance. But again, my take on any of these sugar alcohol, be careful with it. Don't overdo it. There's no need, in my opinion, to live on that kind of stuff. If you use it once in a while, I got no problem with that. And I think, when they talk about any danger with it, it's when you're consuming quite a bit of it. Now, I don't know exactly what you mean. Hold on now. Had a senior moment. I don't know exactly what you meant, Marissa, by its effect with probiotics. Probiotics are good for everything. So make sure you're taking probiotics, and it would negate to some extent the side effects of, possible side effects of xylitol. So, but you want to be taking probiotics no matter what. So xylitol and these I'm not saying they're artificial, they're sort of sugar alcohols. I don't know. I'm not big on them, but if you want to use them to some extent, and go for it. Joanne, many of the supplements suggest taking with or without food. I find this so confusing and sometimes prevents me from taking them. Joanne, listen. On a label, especially in Canada, you gotta put, take it with food or without food or whatever. And you know what? I don't care. I really don't. And I've been around for a long, long time. Take them. If you find it better with food, like some say, fat soluble, you have to take that, like a vitamin D with food and all that. It's absorbed better. And I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Like, that's just not been my experience. I've had people, because we used to test, for example, I'll give you B12, for example. Okay, wow, you take that sublingual. Probably better to talk about vitamin D. But it didn't matter how you took it, as long as you took it. And then we'd measure vitamin D, and the vitamin D levels would go up, whether they took it with food or without food. So, they say fat soluble, well, you want to take it with food. Well, okay, go for it. I got no problem, whatever, which way. Make sure you take it, Joanne. Don't be so worried, okay? And I get it. I'm glad you're asking. If you're ever in doubt, guys, you know what's nice about, we got first of all, the private Facebook group. Ask all my PhDs, honorary nutritional nutritional people that answer your questions. We got quite a community in there, and people know their stuff. So, I know you're going to get maybe different answers, but I'm giving you a different answer. To me, it don't really matter. That's my opinion. I take my supplements pretty well in the morning. and with my coffee, and it suits me well. Okay, it suits me well. If you're intermittent fasting and you're not eating in the morning and you want to take your supplements, go for it. If you find that you might get a little regurgitation doing it, some people got a sensitive stomach or whatever, then take it with food. Like your high DHA, there's a lot of oil in there. But it don't bother me. I can take it on an empty stomach. Doesn't bother me at all. Okay? So again, because they used to say probiotics, but our probiotics are made to they're so good. They pass the digestive juices. And so food without, maybe a touch better if you take it on an empty stomach, but they still do their job. I've proven it. Okay. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it very much, Joanne. And listen, the other thing is, don't be shy on asking our staff. Okay, go on our website, ask the staff, and we're going to answer your questions. Okay. Now you were also asking about chromium picolinate. I like chromium. Always have had it in our formula of blood sugar formula. I like chromium. Okay, picolinate. I used it a lot. So yeah, it's a good thing. Do you have to take it every day? No, I don't know. Like, it's good for you though. I got no problem with chromium. Always liked it. Yes, we had it in our blood sugar formula. Insulin balance, it was called. Ugh, if we ever get it back. Caroline, how would Dr. Martin treat a parathyroid condition? Well, parathyroid, para, on the side of your thyroid, very important little glands, and what they do is they regulate your calcium. You need calcium. Okay, you do. You need a little bit in your blood too, but not much. And parathyroids help to regulate that. Now, you guys hear me all the time talking about getting calcium into its proper place out of the bloodstream, and that is with vitamin K2. K2 is found in the animal kingdom. So when you eat cheese or butter or meat or eggs, you get vitamin K2 built in because you have calcium in eggs. You have calcium in dairy. You have calcium in meat. Okay? You need calcium. You just don't want to take it as a supplement. You don't need it. Eat it, because when you eat calcium from the animal kingdom, you get the built-in vitamin K2 with it. Now, we put vitamin K2 with our vitamin D because vitamin D is very good for your bones. It helps to send calcium, but you want to make sure it gets there. That's why we add the vitamin K2 to the vitamin D. Thank you for the question. It's a very good one. Okay. All questions are good, guys. I want to be questioned. Okay. Lori, my son's girlfriend seems to be malnourished. Okay. Is she a vegan? Does she eat meat? And not enough of it. Okay? Not enough of it. Anywho, yeah, like when I saw them in my office, if we can only get that multi-nutrient, ooh, that's another thing that I get migraines over. It's so hard to make, and the formula, and it's a pain in the butt, but it's the best multi-nutrient. Used to call Blood Boost. I would have her on that for sure. I'd have her on B12, big time. Guaranteed low in vitamin D. She looks like Casper the Ghost. Will she eat steak? Sun, steak, and steel. Okay. Yeah, I'd give her probably a couple of big tablespoons of the multi-nutrients as soon as it comes back. Nancy, my dear friend, suffering from Stevens-Johnson syndrome. That is usually an effect, that's a side effect you get from a medication. You're allergic to it, and you can get Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which is your skin starts peeling off. I've seen it. And I always start, and this is Nancy. Nancy, I like the fact that you're a high protein diet, no sugar, vitamin D, DHA, look, and probiotics. Big time, because leaky gut, leaky skin, guaranteed. That messed up the medication, messed up the microbiome in the gut. Replace, regenerate, renew. Probiotics, 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 because that's the key. And I have seen it over the years. And you want to be able to regenerate that. Okay, thank you. That was Nancy. Louise, what causes leaky valves in the heart? Well, usually leaky valves can be, a defect to some extent. If it happens as you get older, it can be part of aging and defective valves. But I always look at some underlying issues, just generally what I saw. People were low in CoQ10. They didn't eat enough meat. And, they ate too much sugar, very destructive. And, that's where I, usually put them on ubiquinol and high DHA oil with Navitol because of the elevated nitric oxide, which is opening up the blood vessels. Protein, protein, protein. Eat steak. Okay, that was Louise. Thank you very much. Brandy, I was out on antibiotics orally and topically for skin infection for a week. What do I do in terms of taking my probiotics? Double them up. Double them up. Double them up. At least a week. And for some, I had them for a month, doubling their dose after an antibiotic to make sure they didn't get any leaky gut. Renew, regenerate, replace. Probiotics. Renew that gut microbiome. It's so key after an antibiotic. You know me, I've talked about antibiotics for years. The greatest discovery of the 20th century has become the curse of the 21st. It's one of the huge causes, in my opinion, I know it's the number one cause of leaky gut. It's the number one. Now, there's other causes, but that's number one. And I wrote books about this, antibiotics. When I wrote my first book on chronic fatigue syndrome, one of the threads that every one of these people that suffered of chronic fatigue syndrome was over 90-something%, had a long history of using antibiotics. Leaky gut. Nobody was talking about it in those days, but it's so, so, so important. Fix, double up the probiotic. Don't be scared to take, you can take too many probiotics. Are you kidding me? You got trillions of bacteria in your gut. You can never overdose on a probiotic. That would be an impossibility. That's an impossibility. And you want broad spectrum, lots of different strains, because different strains do different things. It's that broad spectrum that's really important. Soil-based are the best probiotics around. Okay. You don't have to refrigerate them. Isn't that nice? Thanks for that, Brandy. Mary, my friend was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, also on his liver, not good, adrenal glands, what protocol? Well, look, I wish, that's serious stuff, stage 4, right? But here's me, okay? And my protocol is Look, no guarantees. But here's what I liked, okay? In my opinion, every cancer is driven by insulin and estrogen. So get those two down. Get insulin down, get estrogen down. Get your sugar down. Because sugar feeds cancer. There's no doubt about it. Cancer cells have receptors, 10 times more receptors for sugar than anything else. Get your immune system. Build it. As much as you can, build it. That's why I'm big on immune system, your T cells and your natural killer cells. Build them up. What builds them up? Vitamin D. The sun. If you can't get in the sun, supplement. Okay, so I'm big on that. Vitamin A, but you're eating steak. Now, how much are they eating? I don't know that, right? But cancer hates steak. It hates it. High DHA. Why do I say that? I say it because it busts. It's a tumor buster. Proven. Curcumin. It's an anti-cancer supplement. There's so much research on curcumin. I love curcumin. So those are the things. Did I miss anything? Maybe. But generally, that's where I come from. You know, that's where I come from. And, you know, now they're talking about like antiparasitics. If I had stage 4 cancer, I'd be trying that big time. Okay? But my protocol has come over the years based on what I observed, what I saw in my practice and that kind of thing. And listen, you know, stage 4, now it's very serious. It's very hard to turn that ship around. But hey, you never know. And lots of prayer. How's that? Okay, that was Mary. Thanks for the question, Mary. Susan, how are you? Well, here you go, okay? Because Susan started asking a question that we answered a little bit. How and when to take the supplements, so that don't matter. You know, look, let me add a couple of asterisks here, okay? Magnesium. You're having trouble sleeping, and a lot of people do take magnesium at night. Cortisol formula. You're having trouble sleeping? A dose in the morning, a dose at night. I tell you, I have taken a lot of people off the edge of panic with cortisol formula. But for those people, often they have to take it several times a day. And if they're not sleeping, they take it before bedtime. So, you know, I'm trying to think of anything else that, you know, is time specific. But definitely magnesium. If you're having trouble sleeping, you take magnesium before you go to bed, magnesium citrate or biglycinate. Okay. And here's a good one. Susan's asking, I was just wondering, with your experience with so many people, if you could possibly do some teaching on the benefits of taking your supplements every other day. Well, look, if you do well with that, Susan, good for you. Here's me, okay? Here's me. Because of the world in which we live, the time with which we live, the amount of stress, the amount of plastic, the amount of toxins, I got my Fabulous 5 and I don't miss a day of it. It's 7 days a week, okay? I just take them. I take probiotics every day. You got to understand, I'm trying to protect my brain, so I take my high DHA every day. I take Navitol every day. I take magnesium every day. I take vitamin D every day. So, did I miss any? I take curcumin every day. And look, if you want to skip a day, hey, I'm not going to make a federal case out of it. I don't. You know what? And I've done this before, but let me just, because you ask, okay? Because you'll hear a lot of doctor make stupid statements. You know, one of the most stupid statements they've ever made is, when you don't need supplements, you only need food. Says someone that's never studied nutrition for 5 seconds. Okay? And guys, you know me. I want you to eat properly. I want you to emphasize that comes first. You can't out-supplement a bad diet. So, hey, my PhD is in nutrition. Am I a big food guy? You know that I am. Sun, steak, and steel. The steak is in there, right? Eggs, meat, and cheese. You guys know that. Okay? So I'm not coming off. Now, have you ever made investments in your life? Okay? Most of you have, right? You got a pension plan, or it's an investment, right? And I've made investments. Sometimes I lose. Okay? I've made investments. But you know what? I always tell people, for some patients who's come in, I'm surprised, I said to them, you have not invested in your health. What? Well, you don't know what to eat. You don't know anything about supplements. You don't know, you haven't made any investment into your health. Look, I want an investment that pays dividends. And I believe, look, you could get hit by a bus, so all the supplements in the world ain't going to fix that. But what I am saying is this, okay? If you're going to invest, you put money in the bank, and good for you. Okay? You got a savings account. Good for you. But I know one thing. I'm trying to invest in my brain. Okay? I really am. Okay? I'm trying to protect it. I want it to last. And I have done so much research, or read the research, and all of my 50 years of clinical experience, I'm telling you, if you don't take care, my uncle lived till he was 110, he smoked, he drank, he never took care of himself. Yeah, well, that was the grace of God, okay? You know what, just generally we know, don't smoke. That's an investment. Don't smoke. Don't drink a lot of alcohol. That's an investment. Learn to say no. I used to tell my patients, the hardest word in the English language is N-O, spells no. Cut out the sugar as much as possible. That's an investment. Your B12 being optimized. That's an investment. Vitamin D optimized. That's an investment. And the research is very conclusive about that. Now, you know what? You'll get a doctor. What's that? Stay out of the sun. No, get in the sun. Who's right about that? You're going to get two different schools. But one side is ignorant. So I'm pretty adamant. You guys know that. I'm very opinionated. And, I don't have I never had a gun to any of my patients' heads. I never had a gun to their head. I said, well, look, it all starts with you. You got to go home and implement the changes and make big investments. Some of it is time. Some of it is money. I'm investing. So, am I going to live forever? No. Okay? But Like I said, I'm doing everything I can. And guys, I can tell you something. When I tell you to do something, it's because I do it. Okay? Do I exercise? You bet your boots. Do I walk? Yes. Do I eat eggs, meat, and cheese? Big time. Do I cut back on sugar? Big time. Do I never drink juice? Big time. So when I tell you, it's because I do it. When I tell you to drink coffee, it's because I do it. It's the real vitamin C. Eat steak? I bet you there ain't 5 people that eat more steak than me. Okay? I tell you to eat eggs. Do I eat eggs? Lots of them. So I'm just saying, guys, okay? You ask me questions. I like it because I want you to get information. Then you guys decide whether to invest in your health or not. Okay? You guys decide. And God gave you a brain. Use it. Get information. That's the problem. We lived in a generation, my parents especially, whatever the doctor said. Okay? So when cholesterol, they made it the boogeyman, the world went stupid with it. When they told you to not eat fat, the world went stupid. It went saturated stupid. And we're pushing back against all that nonsense because it was never true. Cholesterol, if cholesterol caused heart disease, well, we would have fixed it by now. It's worse than ever. Cancer's really worse than ever. We're not winning the war on cancer because we're relying on the pharmaceutical industry. We wait till you get cancer. Diabetes, we're not winning the war on diabetes. It's worse than ever. We're not winning the war on diabesity. It's worse than ever. Well, okay. I go, why? Why is that happening? And what do we do about it? That's me. Trying to be as practical as I can. And I could prove it with patients and supplements, okay? Because I tested. I didn't guess, I tested. We tested cortisol. Did cortisol go down? Yep. Did A1C go down on the diet? Yep. Did, blood pressure go down when we cut out the sugar and I put them on Navitol and high DHA? And I used to tell the patients, that had eye problems and kidney problems or whatever, and they go, geez, doc, it's better. My doctors and my specialists couldn't get over my eyes and cataracts and glaucoma and, diabetic retinopathy and yada, 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 guys. You had to get results. What did I do it with? Food and supplements. And coffee. Okay, let's do a few more here. Got lots of questions. Marion's asking about DMSO for external use for arthritic and, I haven't heard that term in quite a while. DMSO. Again, I give you a little background. I had a radio show for 20 years. Everything you can think of that was hot on the market or somebody said something online or whatever, it would come across my desk. I had open line radio show. They would ask about it. And I said, well, look, if it works for you, I got no problem with it. I never found it to be that great. But again, if it works for you, hey, go for it. You're asking me to sort of tell you, well, that's the best thing since sliced bread. And you know what I mean by that expression. I never found it to be, look, you got chronic pain in a joint. You got chronic back pain, chronic knee pain, hip pain. And, there's no magic, usually. But if you find benefits, then go for it. Not going to hurt you. Okay? It does go across the skin barrier. And hey, if it's an anti-inflammatory that works, good for you. That was Marion. Heidi. Heidi did the reset, and her triglycerides and LDL having, well, LDL, I don't care about that. If your triglycerides increase, I need to know if you can do this, Heidi. Send it to info@Martin Clinic. You didn't give me enough information, so I need you. I want your numbers. Okay, so send it info@Martin Clinic, just so I can give you a better answer. Like, what are your triglycerides? What was the number of them? The fact that it went up, I don't care so much. I need to know what your HDL is, because that's the measurement I use. I need two numbers. I need HDL and triglycerides. LDL, you want to send it along? Send your number along. If your LDL went up, good. Remember, cholesterol ain't the boogeyman. And there's no such thing as bad cholesterol. So I refuse to condemn LDL. I never did it, and I never will do it. Because if you want to die young, get your LDL down. Okay? The so-called bad cholesterol. It's nonsense. Okay? Now, but give me those, because you're asking me something, why would it go up? And it depends. It could be perfectly great. Give me your triglyceride numbers and your HDL numbers. You want to throw in your LDL, throw it in. But if it went up, good. I want it up. I don't want low LDL. And I certainly don't want low HDL. Okay? You got your A1C? Send that too. And the doctor's saying that's because of all the bad. I hate to tell you. Who was that? The 10-minute. That's Heidi. The pharmacist suggested. Oh, the pharmacist. Maybe I'm still taking in too much fat. Well, I don't think so. Tell your pharmacist that I love them, but. Okay. Mona, Sjogren's. Eyes and throat so dry. Well, that's an autoimmune disorder. And any autoimmune, Mona, get to the gut. Start first. I'd have you on probiotics. Lay off the sugar, because with Sjogren's, always a fungal infection. Always. I've never seen an exception to it in all my years. High DHA, big time probiotics. Okay? Really, really does make a difference. And don't feed the bears. No sugar. Let me just see. You know what? I think I can get it done. I think I've got, hold on. Yeah, I think so. Let's do it. I think we can finish today. Okay. That was Mona. Thank you. Rita, does chamomile tea, what are you asking? Help block cancer growth? Not that I know of. Not that I know of. If you could show me a study on that, I can't say that I've ever seen that. Otherwise, I would tell you to have it. But it's not going to hurt you. But to block cancer growth, I've never seen that in a research. Okay, but maybe I missed it. Okay, send it to me, Rita, so I can read about it. Ruth, how many times a day can you take 4 drops of oil of oregano for candida? Well, you could do it twice a day. I've had people of real bad yeast do it 3 times a day, and then pray because it's so strong, right? Oil of oregano, but it's so good for you. Look, the only overdosing you could do on it is if it started bugging your stomach. But it's so well tolerated, Okay, so that's a lot. If you take 4 drops twice a day, that's a lot of oil of. It's not overdosing, but it is a lot. You want to do it 3 times a day, and you see benefits of it. Go for it. I take it every day. Oil of oregano every day for me. Carmel. Okay. How do one get osteoarthritis? Well, it can be 2 things: wear and tear. Osteoarthritis, unlike rheumatoid arthritis, is wear and tear, okay? Injuries. And sometimes some genetics. A lot of times people don't realize that they could have gouty arthritis, and, there's uric acid crystals in there, and it could be there. It could be calcium crystals in the joints, but wear and tear generally for osteoarthritis. Aging can be part of it. Sugar it caramelizes joints. So all of those things above Carmel, okay? And you were on prednisone for osteo or rheumatoid. It's rare they put you on prednisone for osteoarthritis. But if they did, yeah. Well, look, here's what I would do. I do all of this above, okay? Again, for joints. Cut out your sugar. Get completely off sugar. I wouldn't have any very low carb. Do the reset. Take probiotics. Start with the gut. And very anti-inflammatory curcumin, Navital, because it opens up your blood supply to your joints, and very powerful antioxidant plus high DHA. I mean, if those are the things that I would tell you to do. Okay. Did I miss anything? Vitamin D with K2. Okay. Peggy, 2 more. Peggy, is it safe to wash your clothes with chlorine or germicidal bleach with your laundry, or is it overkill? Well, look, I never thought about that too much. Washing clothes. You got some natural detergents now that are very good, okay? Better for the environment. And I'm more interested in the environment than I am climate, by the way. Did I tell you that before? Yeah. I don't think man affects climate at all, but we affect our environment, and I really like to protect it, okay? Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen if you use bleach? I don't know. I'm not overly concerned, let's put it that way. Okay, I think we got bigger fish to fry than that. But all you folks on the scroll, give Peggy some good ideas. Okay, and last one, Marie, is it possible to get a rash after following the reset? It's possible. Stick your finger up, and you got a different fingerprint than me. So when I talk in generalities. Okay? I talk in generalities. People do really well on the reset. Sometimes you could get what they call a keto rash. Your body's detoxing. Just drink lots of water and coffee. Generally, I find, tens of thousands of people have done the reset. Are we at 100,000 yet? Probably close. So good for you. Is it possible to get a rash? Yeah, it's possible. I've seen it. Rare, but I've seen it. Keto flu, I've seen it. Yeah. Hang in there. Okay. Guys, that's it. Okay, we got them all. So, couple of announcements. Tomorrow, book is for sale in the United States, starting tomorrow. Okay? In Canada, they will be shipped out. We're just waiting for all the books to come in, a little delay. But if you're wondering about your shipment of books, They will be shipped out in the next couple of days, guaranteed, okay? And then, so tell your friends about this book. And when you get the book, you'll be very happy. I promise you that, okay? And if you want to bundle up and get gifts, a book is a great gift, isn't it? I love reading, okay? And so I love books. I really do. And then, what was I going to say? Okay. Again, remember Olga, okay? One of our dear and faithful members for a long time on our private Facebook group, okay? And we're praying for her big time. Guys, we love you. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for asking all these great questions. We appreciate it. And I'm off tomorrow, okay? You'll get that announcement, but I am off tomorrow, okay? So enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on Monday, Lord willing.